Welcome back to my channel, guys. For today's video, we're going to be doing hair and makeup. I'm going to be showing you guys how I got this super cute summer look. I am so excited to get into this tutorial because I love the way this look came out. It's so like soft, but still super colorful. I love it. And the hair is just like, it's to die for. So I am going to be starting off with hair like I normally do. I already have my wig customized that I'm using for today. The hair that I'm using is from SUNBER Hair Company. Shout out to them for sponsoring this video. All of the information per usual is going to be down below in the description box. If you guys have any questions, just make sure to check there. So I'm going to go ahead and start installing this wig. I'm using a mixture of the ORS Super Hold Grip Gel, I think that's what it's called. And I'm also using the Beaaute High Insta Hold hairspray. You guys already know this is like my go-to when I'm securing lace wigs. It holds up for me during the day in the super hot, humid Miami heat. Goodness, it's hot. But this hairspray has done like such a great job holding up in the humidity, like no lie. So I've been loving this combination together. I'm just going to use those two things to secure this lace down and just make sure to dry everything completely before I go in and start styling the edges. So now that our wig is secure, I'm going to go ahead and start styling these edges. I'm going to be using the ORS olive oil wrapping foam to style my edges today. I haven't used a foam to like style my edges in a little bit, but I really like this one. It's in the same like collection or like line of products that was launched with the hair gel that I use to secure the lace. As of lately, I've been kind of like going towards like wrapping foams for my edges because I've been preferring kind of like a softer look with my edges. So sometimes when I use hair gel, they can look really styled. I don't mind that look so much when I'm actually going for that particular style, but today I kind of wanted my edges to look a little bit softer. So using a wrapping foam just helps me kind of get that effect a little bit easier. So I'm going to go in with my rat tail comb and just pull out the hairs that I want to style. And I'm also using my hot comb to press the hairs forward so that way they are like laying in the right direction. You guys, I am so in love with this wig. It is so stinking cute. Oh my gosh. This is probably one of like my favorite wigs that I've gotten so far. It's like the epitome of like summer hair. Like if summer was a wig, it would be this wig. I just love the highlights on these curls. I've done like highlighted wigs like this before in the past, but they've never been like this like curl pattern. Usually they're more of like a body wave or they're straight, but this hair came like curly already and the curl pattern is so cute. So now that I'm done with my edges, I'm gonna go in with my satin wrap and just wrap those babies up so that way they're protected and, you know, look cared for while I go in and do my makeup. I'm just gonna pull all of the rest of the hair back into like a hair clip, but like, yeah, these are the curls. Like, it's giving Beyonce, it's giving everything. I just love this wig so much. I definitely will be using this wig again in the future. It's just such a vibe, especially for the summer. So yeah, we're gonna wrap that up and clip it back so that way we can go ahead and move on to the makeup. I am gonna be styling this wig, but you guys already know I like to style my hair after I do my makeup. So for this look, I'm gonna be starting with the eyes first. I'm going in with the Fenty Beauty concealer in, I believe this is in shade 350. It's not too far off from like my complexion. It's maybe like a shade lighter, but I'm gonna be using this to carve underneath the brows. I've been doing my makeup like skin first, then eyes, but today I just kind of wanted to do eyes first. I'm not sure why, just in the mood to do eyes first, so that's kind of what I went for. The eyeshadow palette that I'm going in with today, for a majority of the colors, are going to be from the BH Cosmetics 80s Remix palette, as well as the Be Perfect times Stacey Marie Carnival 3 palette. So I'm going to be starting off with the BH Cosmetics 80s Remix Dance palette first, and I'm using this hot pink shade on the outer corner. I went ahead and added the brush names at the bottom left of the screen so that you guys know which brushes I'm using. I stopped doing that a couple of months ago because I figured I'm using the same brushes every single time, and I figured you guys probably like already know what my favorites are, but I still get questions about like which type of brushes that I use, or you know, in the moment and everything like that. So I just decided, you know, to go ahead and add brush names again. So if you have questions about the brushes that I'm using, just make sure to check the bottom left of the screen. That's where I have like the brush names. Next up, I'm going in with an orange shade from the same BH Cosmetics 80s Remix palette to blend out the edges of my hot pink. I'm using a slightly fluffier brush this time because I really want this blend to be like super smooth and really seamless. I also added a little bit of translucent powder on the outer edge of the eye area as well as the brow bone, just to really make sure that everything blends super smoothly. And now we're going in with the Carnival 3 palette from Stacey Marie and Be Perfect Cosmetics. I'm using a much like deeper shade of pink, and this is gonna give like the eye a little bit of extra depth. Then going in with this super cute blue shade called Wake Me Up, I'm gonna start adding that to the inner corner of the eye using another clean Morphe M506. And to fill in the lid, I'm gonna use the shade Key Lime from the Be Perfect Carnival 3 palette. The eyeshadow alone on the lid wasn't kind of giving me what it needed to give, so I ended up going in with a neon pigment from by Mellow Lops and added that on top just to, you know, brighten it up a little bit. It wasn't really like popping the way that I really wanted it to pop. So I just added a teeny tiny bit of that green neon pigment onto the lid just to give it a little bit of extra brightness. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead and add my winged liner. Today I'm using the Melt Cosmetics Ultra Matte Gel Liner in Immortal. This is one of my favorite gel liners, hands down. This liner is amazing. If you're looking for a gel liner, I highly recommend this one. It's just so good. They really like got this formula spot on when they created this liner. So I'm gonna go ahead and do like a cute little wing using a angled brush, and then to perfect the liner, I'm gonna go in with a felt tip liner pen. This one is from Revlon, and I'm just gonna go over any little areas that need to be like perfected. I like to do that step with a liquid liner because I get that really sharp, clean look. Once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of extra concealer and clean up the bottom portion of the liner, and we are all done with the eye look. From there, I'm just gonna add my mascara. I'm using the MAC Extension Mascara. I'll make sure to put it down below in the description box. I've been using this mascara a lot lately and I really do like it. So I'm gonna add that to the top lashes. And then for my lashes today, I'm using the Tati lashes in style TL35. I didn't want to do anything crazy for my lash today. I just kind of wanted like a cute little, you know, short one. So that way the lashes aren't like covering up all the hard work that we did with the liner and the eyeshadow. So just, you know, a cute little one was kind of like the vibe for today. So that's pretty much it for the eyes for now. I'm gonna go ahead and move into skin. I'm gonna prime first using the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. This has been one of my favorite primers right now. It's kind of weird because I have oily combination skin and this is more of like a hydrating primer, but for some reason I've been gravitating more towards like hydrating primers. I don't know why, but they've just been doing really well on like my skin right now. So, you know, that's been the vibe these days. But I'm gonna prime the skin using that, and then I'm gonna go in with my Laura Mercier translucent honey powder, and we're going to powder the skin. This is probably the reason why I've been gravitating to more like hydrating primers, because I feel like this particular step, I love it very much because it just helps control oil, especially on my T-zone. So I love doing this step, but I feel like having that more like hydrating primer kind of like balances the powder out. So that way it's not like overly drying, if that makes sense. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna powder the skin using my little powder puff there, and then I'm gonna go in with the Beauty Bakery setting spray and just spritz that all over. I actually saw Lori Harvey do this step in her skin routine when she did like her whole makeup routine on Vogue's YouTube channel. It could be my imagination, but I just feel like having like the setting spray there underneath my foundation just gives the foundation like that extra bit of something to hold on to so it lasts longer. Funny thing is, I don't even think that the foundation that I'm using is actually a foundation, and this is the Huda Beauty Glow-ish skin tint. I'm not really sure what the difference is between like a skin tint and a tinted moisturizer. Either way, I've been loving like these more lighter coverage products for like my skin routine, especially now that it's like incredibly hot outside and super humid. Nobody has time to be wearing full coverage foundation right now. It is just way too hot. So I've been gravitating towards like these skin tints and tinted moisturizers, but I love this new one that Huda just launched. It's really good. I'm using shade number 9, and I'm gonna blend that in using a sponge. So I've been loving tinted moisturizers for like all over the face, and I'll mostly just keep the coverage like on the under eyes. So I'll go in with like a full coverage concealer like I'm doing today. I'm using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter concealer, and I'm just gonna focus that coverage on the under eyes and the areas that I like to typically highlight. Once I have my concealer on, I'm going to go back in with that same Laura Mercier powder, the honey one, and I'm going to set the entire face using my powder puff. I'm using a thin layer of this powder. I'm not baking just yet. I just want to set everything, kind of make sure everything's in place before I move on to like, you know, adding any other powders like bronzer and blush. That way everything has like a nice matte layer to lay on top of. I feel like for me personally, it's a lot easier for me to blend like powder bronzers when my skin is already like set, if that makes sense. We're gonna set with that, and then I'm gonna go in and add a little bit of extra brightness to the under eyes using the Fenty Beauty soft matte foundation, like the powder foundations. I'm using shades 235 and 255. 235 is gonna go on the innermost portion of the under eye, and then I'm gonna use 255 on the outermost portion, so that way I get that really smooth transition between the concealer and the foundation. On the rest of the skin, I'm gonna use this new Artist Couture multi-use beauty powder. I love this powder because it's not as heavy and full coverage as a powder foundation. So on top of a skin tint or like a tinted moisturizer, it's perfect. You still get that extra touch of coverage, but it's not as heavy as a powder foundation would be. So now that the skin is all set, I'm gonna go in with my powder bronzer. I'm using the Glowish bronzer from Huda Beauty as well. This one is in shade number 5, I believe. I I think it's shade number 5, yeah. But I'm gonna use that on the cheeks, basically all the places that I wanna bring some extra depth and warmth into the skin. And then I'll move into blush. I'm using my favorite combination right now. You guys have seen me use this combo like a million times before. They're the compact blushes from Beauty Bay in shades Coral and Peachy. I'm gonna mix those 2 shades together and just add that to the cheeks for my blush. And now it is safe to bake, so I'm gonna go back in with my Laura Mercier powder, same one that we used to set the face right after concealer, and I'm gonna use that powder to bake. I'm only pretty much gonna add that on the sides of the nose and the bridge of the nose. That's kind of where I like to focus like the brightness, so I don't really take the powder, you know, all the way on the outer corners of the eye. I prefer to focus the brightness just on the center of the face. While it's baking, I'm gonna do my brows. I'm using this brow pen from Benefit Cosmetics. It's like a felt tip pen and it has like 3 little points, so it makes it really easy to create faux brow hairs. I'm pretty much just focusing this though on all of the areas that are a little bit like sparse. I'm not like, you know, using this all over the brow, just on the parts that are more sparse and just need a little bit of extra love. I'm using this Too Faced liner. This is in the shade Killer Cashmere. It's just like a typical beige, you know, color, nothing crazy. You guys already know I'm obsessed with like beige on the waterline. So any beige liner works perfectly fine if you ask me. Usually I switch between like this one from Too Faced. There's another one from BH Cosmetics that I really like. Then I'm gonna add some shadow onto the lower lash line. I'm smoking that out using that orange and that hot pink that we used on the outer corner. At this point, I felt like the inner corner of the eyes were a little bit like they just need a little bit of extra brightness. So I'm going in with this pastel blue shade from the Huda Beauty Mint palette. And I'm gonna add that shade on the inner corner just to brighten it up a tad bit. I didn't wanna go in with white because I thought white was gonna be entirely too bright. I still wanted that blue. So this pastel blue shade is like perfect for, you know, what I'm trying to do. I just wanna brighten up the inner corner just a little bit more, but I also wanna keep that blue shade nice and vibrant. I'm then gonna go in with my highlighter for my nose. You guys know I don't really highlight any of my face anymore. I pretty much just do my nose. I'm using the Laura Mercier Face Illuminator highlighter in the shade Addiction. I'm only going in with a tiny amount of highlighter today, but I'm pretty much just gonna apply it onto the bridge, the tip, and the sides of the nose. Then going in with some freckle makeup from Freck Beauty. I'm gonna add this on the spots where I have beauty marks, but I also like to use this on the spots where I have like an acne scar, especially now that I'm using products that are a little bit more on the lighter side when it comes to coverage for foundation. Rather than go over it with like extra foundation or another concealer, I'll just put a little faux beauty mark there to cover it up. And now we are going into lips. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner in shade Foxy Brown. This has been one of my favorite lip liners right now. It's just like a perfect like neutral toned brown, so it works with a lot of different shades of peachy nudes, pink nudes. It's a really great like universal lip liner. And then the lipstick that I'm using today, I'm actually using a mixture of two. These are the new Melt Cosmetics Ultra Matte lipsticks in shades Working Girl and Zaddy. Yes. I've been loving this little lip combo, and the formula for these matte lipsticks is perfect. Not too drying, but still has a really nice like matte finish. And that's pretty much it for the makeup. I'm gonna set everything using the Beauty Bakery setting spray again, and then I'll move back into the hair, styling this wig. Oh my gosh, it's so cute, guys. I love it so much. So I pretty much just ended up doing like my favorite, like half up, half down hairstyle that I usually like to do. And I just added like two little bangs like in the front. So I'm going in with some like hair products to get these curls super poppin' because they're so cute. I finally have my spray bottles. I can finally like spray down these curls before I go into my hair products. I'm gonna spray the curls down with some water first, and then I'm gonna add my product to get the curls nice and defined. I use the same wrapping foam that I used on the edges, and we're just gonna put it in a little half up, half down style. Keep those little bangs out in the front, and that's it, guys. That's the look. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. This is probably one of my favorite looks. Like, I love this look so much. It just screams summer. Like, ugh, I love it. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I love you, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.